Rebellions are built on hope.
And welcome to another episode, another season of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. I'm your host, Alberto Calderon, and that one over there is our co-host, OT1 Kenobi. OT, welcome back to season 10 of Radio Rebellion, a Star Wars podcast. How are you doing this week? We've been out for a couple of weeks. We're back on this Star Wars podcast day we're celebrating. But before we get into all that, how are you doing today? Nice seeing you again.
Nice seeing you too. I'm doing fine. Having I'll say like a rough week at work. Nothing bad going on, just a lot of work. Rough month or rough year in the real world
so far.
Yeah, but hey, whatever.
I mean, our show
rough year for that country I'll be moving to in a couple.
Yeah, right. Because one thing I know, being Puerto Rican, of course, part of the colony and all that stuff, but you're just coming right into it, man. At the worst possible time, you just voluntarily moving to the States. So
thankfully, it's just 2 years.
Oh well, let's see how we're doing as a country in 2 years. Anyway,
midterms.
I know. Fingers crossed. Like I mentioned, it's on our intro. It's our 10th season of Radio Rebellion. 5 years. We're celebrating 5 years of this show. And you've been here for almost 3. So thank you for being here for... Yeah, I checked. I wanted to make sure it was... Funny enough, I think it was in May of 2022. And we're talking about Celebration London and what to expect. And today we're going to be talking about Celebration Japan. So it's kind of full circle. So thanks to everyone that has joined us this past 5 years. I never thought I'll be doing this for 5 years, and it's been fun. Sometimes it's kind of, what am I doing this for? And then it's like, this is the best thing ever. Just talk Star Wars for an hour. Who cares? Try to block everything now that's going on outside of this world. I just have fun for a while with you and everyone out there.
I always tell my wife it's like book club, but for Star Wars fans. Like sometimes everyone comes in, sometimes no one comes in. It's whatever. Like,
and it's fine, dude. And we get to talk about it. And there's a lot of books. We should start a Star Wars book club. I know there's a few out there. We'll be like a year behind on. We'll find. How are you doing? Last time I talked, you were reading Nameless.
I started. I haven't read I read like 100 pages, but I haven't read anything else afterwards.
All right, so
it's a long one though, but I'll get there.
All right, we'll talk about some books and other stuff in a couple of minutes. But everyone out there, if you're joining us for the first time, thanks for being here. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you don't miss any new episodes when they drop. Usually Saturdays, sometimes Friday, sometimes whenever we get a chance. Like this video and subscribe to our channel and comment down below anything Star Wars related you want us to talk about or any comments about what we're discussing today. And if you're listening to the other podcast, thank you, and give us a 5-star rating and review. And also, like I mentioned before, this is our Star Wars podcast day special episode, also our return to our regular season. But today we're celebrating, I believe it's 26 years since Jedi Talks, which is that first Star Wars podcast back in 1999.
Podcast Prime, they call it.
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable. It's been so long. We've been participating in Star Wars Podcast Days for a couple of years now, and if they keep inviting us, we'll keep doing it. So thank you to everyone out there that always joins. All right, okay, I think with that we can go ahead and start. So if you guys are ready, I know I'm ready. Let's talk Star Wars and Star Wars in 2024. Let's go back. Let's take a look at the year that was 2024, which is funny because if you go back and probably go through social media or whatever, people were, it was a low year for Star Wars, no movies, kind of the Mandalorian got pushed back and stuff of that nature. Then you start to think about it. It was a pretty busy year for Star Wars, like the Acolyte, season 3 of the Bad Batch, beginning of Skeleton Crew, the Lego stuff, all the books, video games. It was a busy year for Star Wars in 2024.
I do this episode every year in my show, and I feel like I I've only done it once in a movie year, but like I feel like every single year I say like, oh, I thought this year was gonna be like slow, but ended up being like super positive. And then I go to 2020 or the next year, and I'm like, it seems like a slow year. We'll see.
It's always, it just keeps repeating.
Like, no, actually, a pretty good year for Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe news-wise, we didn't get a bunch of breaking news out. I'm sure if we pick through it, there's a few stuff, but actual stuff that we got, there was a lot out there. So
Yeah.
as we start kind of looking back, what were some surprises? If you remember something that came out and maybe you weren't expecting too much of it, or something happened that threw you for a loop. What were some of those surprises
I
out there
think
for you?
I think probably the biggest surprise for me was Skeleton Crew because I
Mm,
had really no expectations going to it. Like when the show was announced, like the concept was interesting, but we also got the Acolyte and like
yeah.
everything that happened with that show like kind of soured me. Like, let's see what happens with this one now. Um, so I was so pleasantly surprised. Not that I liked it because I was excited for the whole Amblin
Yeah.
thing, but how much I liked it and how good the show was. And it's funny, like I remember like when they announced Jude Law, I was like,
Mm.
I think he's too big to be in Star Wars. And my first reaction after 2 episodes was like, why hasn't this guy been in Star Wars before? So
Yeah.
I think Skeleton Crew for that reason is probably like the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah, I mean, Skeleton Crew was so good, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it in a couple of minutes. But just going to that Jude Law being too big, that's usually not a complaint, but one of the things that Star Wars fans talk about when new movies or new TV shows are being announced. Oh, we prefer unknown actors, or we're not kind of taken out of the
Mm-hmm.
movies or TV shows. But same thing, Jude Law for everyone out there, like, no, that was on top. That was John Nanawood. It
Mm-hmm.
worked perfectly. And we'll talk about it when we're going to look into 2025 with the Ryan Gosling rumors. Maybe he's a bigger actor, right? I heard some people say, oh, he's too big, and I get kind of taken out of it. I'm like, didn't we just go through this with Jude Law? Nobody cared once the character came out and he knocked it out of the park. It's like, let's just wait for this story. I think I'm good. I can
Yeah.
take it. For me, the biggest surprise was how much I enjoyed season 3 of The Bad Batch.
Okay.
You know that I was down on season 1. It wasn't my favorite. Even you brought out the receipts that I had called out Omega. That wasn't a great character in season 1. I was okay with the finale. Season 2 got better, but I was kind of, what's the direction? Are they doing episode of the week, or are we following the whole where's the Bad
Mm-hmm.
Batch going? I was on the camp of keep Crusher bad. I don't want him redeemed. Man, season 3 came out, and from that first episode, I know when it came out, season 3 came out, I believe we got the first 3 episodes. And episode 1 and 3 were just awesome from start to finish.
Yeah.
It hooked me and it didn't let go. So I'm surprised how much I enjoyed the Bad Batch, how much I cared for Omega. I loved Crosser as the bad guy in season 2 as the villain. I mean, villain kind of,
Yeah.
not really. But in this season, just all his scenes with Omega and when he reunited with the Bad Batch with Hunter and Wrecker, especially after losing Tech, and those scenes were so great, so powerful. They just, and the finale, come on, the finale is top tier Star Wars animation finale. And it became one of my favorite series of the year. So just how much I love the Bad Batch season 3 was the biggest surprise, at least for myself.
Mm-hmm. I again, like you feel like it's a slow year for Star Wars. We had 3 TV shows this year. 2 of them
Uh,
new.
yeah, and then the Lego Star Wars Rebuild the Galaxy. It was little shorts, like
Oh,
4 episodes.
we also got Tales of the Empire.
And Tales of the Empire. So 2 animated shows, 2 live actions, plus the Lego special. We
Yeah.
can't complain. There's a lot
No.
of Star Wars out there.
No.
For me, the Acolyte, now talking about some of our favorite moments in 2024, I believe it was episode 5 of the Acolyte when the stranger gets revealed and we have the great
Mhm.
fight against all the
Wow.
Jedi, and Jackie and Yor kind of kick the bucket. that was as unexpected as it could be. The whole fandom was just, even people that didn't enjoy the show were talking about this episode. The lightsaber fights were incredible. The way Manny Jacinto played both, for the name of the Chimere
Chimere.
and the Stranger, the armor, his forearms, everyone kept talking about his biceps. But then the way that the reveal of killing Jackie with those three stabs, then killing Yord, maybe that was before, but all that and the fights with Master Soul, all that whole episode was probably one of my favorite moments of
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah, no, that episode was sick. And it came
Yeah.
after that cliffhanger from the
Yeah.
previous episode where they just leave us on the mask. Like,
Yeah.
the Acolyte, that show breaks my heart. Like, I love that show so much. And
Mhm.
sometimes, like, I don't know if this has happened to any of you, but like sometimes I like watch something and like it, and it gets like bashed by the
Yeah.
internet, and then I rewatch it. And I'm like, no, it's not that great.
Hmm.
Um, this hasn't happened to me with the Acolyte. Like, I'm still like really bummed, and
Yeah.
that's it. Like, I'm fine that the story at least closed, but like, I want it more. So yeah, I really like the Acolyte.
Yeah, I've had, maybe I mentioned it here at some point. I had that reaction with The Last Jedi. When I watched it twice in the movie theaters, and I loved it. I loved that
Mhm.
movie, everything about it. And then hearing all the negativity out there, when I watched it again, I started to pick out things that I didn't enjoy. But it didn't have anything to do with Luke Skywalker or with Rey or killing
Luke
Snoke.
Skywalker.
Yeah, I
Oh,
told you I was sick for 2 weeks. I'm still trying, a little bit congested up here.
woke.
Um, it's Walker. So it just threw me off.
The
So some
Last
of,
Jedi.
yeah, so everything had to do with Luke, Rey, Snoke, and Kylo I love, and I still love, but some other parts I didn't enjoy so much. But now I can watch it, I don't go crazy about it, but I've been there that maybe hearing other people, it does affect the way I relate to it. For the Acolyte, as much as I enjoyed it, and I would love it in celebration, we get some surprise announcement that they're coming back for a Disney Plus movie just to close it out or something. I've made my peace that it's most likely done. So I
Mhm.
know a lot of people out there are still asking for it to be renewed, especially when news came out. Oh, it was going to be 3 seasons and a movie, and people want all this stuff.
3 seasons in a movie.
Yeah, I made my peace with it. So I'm like, I'm bummed, but I want, let's move forward. Let's see what else comes out. So I kind
Yeah.
of, I moved away. But the show itself, I enjoyed it tremendously. There were things that I didn't enjoy, and that happens with everything. But talking with you, talking with the guests that we had throughout that whole series, made me kind of see it from another point of view and realize why it worked for people and why it didn't work for me, and kind of can reconcile some of the issues I had with it. But yeah, I'm bummed we're not getting more, especially
No.
we got Plagueis there. What happened between
What's next for
Vernestra and Chimere?
Yeah, what's next for May,
Yeah,
Osha, and May.
Yoda at the end just
Yoda
hanging
was
out.
there. Yeah.
So what were
Mundi got a
some
new
of?
birthday.
Sorry.
Mundi got a new
Okay.
birthday.
Oh, I don't miss the
I
Kia de Monday
completely
week.
forgot about that.
Oh man, that Star Wars fandom never change. I mean, change, but not really because it's funny sometimes. Where were some of your favorite moments? It can be books or from the TV shows or
I
anything.
I've got to go with, it's not like a specific moment. I recently jumped back into finishing Star Wars Outlaws because I
Okay.
started that game. I bought it later than that, a bit later after it came out. And two games came out that I really wanted to play, so I stopped playing Star Wars Outlaws and then never finished it. So
Yeah.
the last couple of weeks I was replaying it. I really liked it a lot, and that was a game I was going like a little bit
Yeah,
skeptical
I
into it
remember.
because of who was making it. But I ended up really liking the story and liking the characters, which was another thing. At first, I was like, oh, these characters are a bit like stereotypical, and they are,
Yeah.
but not stereotypical like archetypes.
Mhm.
But it ended up really working for me. But what I was gonna say, like there was a moment, and it was the moment where the game got me. I was just like running away from the pikes, and the Empire was also chasing me. And suddenly I like moved the video game camera and I'm like riding a speeder with two pikes following me and there's explosions on every side.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, man, this is so cool. Like I'm just like wrecking havoc in Star
Yeah,
Wars.
yeah. I gotta see if it's in the Game Pass. Sorry, we're not affiliated with Xbox. So I see if they put it on the Game Pass so I can play it.
I
You
wish I
just heard
was.
great things. So you're in the camp that just hates the pikes, won't help the pikes for
Yeah, dude,
anything.
they're like jerks. Like, ne- so when I started the game, I was like, maybe I'll give them a chance.
Yeah.
But like every time they show up and you get a chance to like make amends, I'm like, fuck no. Like,
um, I told I was on got invited on the I Satan Upon a Skew podcast a couple of
uh,
weeks ago, and they brought up Star Wars Outlaws, and I said if I ever play the game, I'm gonna be the only one that's gonna help the pikes. I'm just gonna be they're gonna be my go-to, but I don't know. I'm probably go that same route. As soon as I try to do something, they just get on my nerves, and I'll just kill all of them.
yeah, like I don't know. Like I think I really tried to be like, no, maybe I like the pikes, but like playing the game, I was like, no, these guys are the worst. Like I'm not helping them.
All right, maybe we'll change. I gotta get into more games, but
you
there's no
you know
time.
what's funny, by the way? When I started the game like in September and came back now in January to replay it. Like so, like
It's
I was like
February, but okay.
February. Sorry, no, it was January. I finished it like a week ago.
All right, all
When I started playing, wait, it's February what?
right. 7th, I believe.
Oh my
Star
god! I
Wars
was like,
Podcast Day.
I
Or
thought it was like
6th.
I thought it was like the second. Anyways,
It's
when I came back to
2027.
play the
Or...
game, I had forgotten about like the beginning, so I really don't know why I hated the pikes. I just know like every time they came into the game, I was like, "Hey, just give us this." I was like, "No, man, like I don't like your approach."
You're like the, what was it? Erano and the other
Yeah,
moon.
no, I don't even remember why we're angry,
Yes,
but
I
you're
know, I
being a
just said.
jerk, so I'm not
Yeah,
changing my mind.
I just said you. Who cares why?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, another great moments were, or not great surprise, same as you, is Skeleton Crew. Even though I was positive for the show, didn't have some great expectations for it. I was surprised about how much it went into the pirate lore of it, this type of pirates in Star Wars that we saw a little bit in Mandalorian, but didn't really delve into it. So I think I mentioned this last time. It wasn't just an ambling kind of coming of age show, it was a pirate show kind of in between. So I just love how much it got into it, how it played with the themes of Star Wars and what we come to expect. Like every week we were saying, no, no, he'll turn good. He will help them. This is Star Wars. There's still hope. And now he's just a bad guy. And we joked about, hey, he didn't kill him. He's just going to enslave them. So I love that it played with that, the things that we get used to in Star Wars. And the whole show was great. So I love that Skeleton Crew was another show coming after the Acolyte, which some people didn't enjoy, got a lot of backlash, unwarranted, most of it. To then get canceled, a lot of the fandom was, oh, I'm done with Star Wars, I'm not gonna put my time into it. To then get Skeleton Crew, which was received very positive by almost everyone. I'm glad at least we're kind of starting to get a little bit going up this time as the year ended and going to 25.
Yeah.
So
Like,
Tales of the Empire, I enjoyed them. Wasn't my favorite, like Morgan, Elsbeth, and I forgot the name of the
very
other.
happy.
And Barry Software, they're not my favorite characters, but I'm not gonna complain. Got a bit more information and episodes with those characters, so nothing to complain about. But I was okay with them.
I just wanted to say that one of the surprises for me of the year was how much I actually liked the story of Barris Offee.
Okay.
Because that's a story. I sometimes tell Tony like there's stories that I think are too big to tell, or like not too big to tell, but maybe like they are. We've just been asking those questions for
Yeah,
far too
for
long.
years.
How did Ahsoka leave the world between worlds? And I'm like, don't answer the question. Like part of what makes the question interesting is not knowing. So like, what happened to Barris Offee? I was like, I don't know. I don't think I need to know.
Mhm.
So when they came back to tell that story, I was so pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed like
Okay.
where it went, and again they left it on kind of a cliffhanger. Like, is she
Is
alive?
she? What they love
so
to do with those
so they
characters.
replaced the answer. They answered the question and left us with another
Mhm.
question. So,
I love that she wasn't the one to save Grogu. I remember that was a big thing
oh,
in
remember? Oh,
Mandalorian.
it's a
Oh,
symbol.
the symbol on the Jedi Temple, like, I don't want her to come back to save. Not like she was evil. She is the one that planted the bomb. Leave her like that. So I enjoyed that it didn't go, that it went on an unexpected route, and seeing her kind of inside the Inquisitors and how that whole kind of society works. We'd seen it in the books, was seen it in the animation, was kind of cool.
And I so appreciated that it wasn't this her getting revenge on Ahsoka, because I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I framed that here. I was like, why would she want revenge on Ahsoka? She's the one who framed Ahsoka. Like,
It's
she
the other
did
way.
that to herself.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so that kind of does it for the TV side. Book wise, I don't know. With you not reading anything, no. So my favorite book, again,
Dude,
also
doing Temptation of the Force with Tessa Thompson, like that was
I know.
amazing.
Okay, let's go. I mean, every time we get a chance, which I still can't believe we get to talk to authors of Star Wars book, is gonna be on the top of that year list for me. And we got to talk to two great authors with Tessa Gratton and Stephen Barnes for The Mace Windu, A Glass Abyss. But getting to talk with Tessa Gratton about Temptation of the Force, with what that book meant for the High Republic fandom and the story itself, getting her to tell us how she came up with Avar and Elsar, and how she loves these messy romances. I mean, I can't complain if I don't get uh, a gift basket that some people get out there and a blanket for the Acolyte. I get those opportunities. They're just awesome.
Dude, and the Stephen Barnes one, like that I did not read that book, and I know it.
Yeah.
And I told them that I had not read the book,
Mhm.
and I had my list of questions, and you had given me like a
Mhm.
very good
Yeah.
overview of what the story was. Um, but that conversation was like so off the rails and so
Yeah.
random. It went so many places. I was like, what?
Dude, that could have been a 2 hour conversation easy. Like he was just, I'm here, let's just talk. I don't care about the corporate side of it. Let's just talk about it. And if you didn't like the book, I'm sorry, and I'll try to do better. But this is what I wanted to do. And off air, I'll tell you all the other stuff I wanted to play with that I
the
didn't have a chance. And
the off air conversation, like that was like one of the coolest moments
yeah.
for me as a fan, like
Hmm.
him telling us some of his ideas, and not just Star Wars, talking other things. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
what? Like, so cool.
Yeah. So moments. I mean, I'm always I think we talked to what, 3 authors now, and every time like, all right, this is gonna be yes, no answers just to get out of the way because we don't know them. We're no one basically to them, but everyone's been extremely open and extremely friendly with everything. So I'm always surprised. Maybe I shouldn't be, but yeah, that Stephen Barnes interview, that was like, I think I
That was
told you, I don't know
crazy.
if I told everyone, it was before we saw, he was there like 10 minutes. They always come in right at 5 when we saw the
Yeah.
show. He was there like 10 minutes before. And he's like, dude, I know you send answers, I mean questions that need to be approved, but just ask me whatever you want and I'll answer it honestly, and we'll go. So it was just an open conversation just about life, basically. And try to be positive and all this stuff that he does. And then Tessa Gratton just jumping into the High Republic and working with Justina Ireland in some of her other books and trying to work around the romance, Jedi romance in Star Wars, something that's been built up for 2 years with the High Republic. Yeah, those were the greatest moments, I guess, in general for this podcast
Yeah.
last year. And then we didn't get a chance to talk with him, but John Jackson Miller's The Living Force was probably my favorite book of last year.
Really?
Yes, it came at a time that I was feeling down with the way a lot of people were portraying the Jedi, kind of blaming the Jedi for everything from the fandom
It was a
side.
pick. You needed that pick me up.
Yeah, and that book is just 100%. Even and it doesn't shy away from telling you, and hey, the Jedi are going down the wrong path. This is a couple
Mhm.
of years before the Phantom Menace, And there's a great quote, I think it's Adigalia, I think that tells Yoda, a lie for the greater good is still a lie, which we know, unfortunately, Yoda
Yeah.
likes to hide stuff. And there's a lot of bunch of other great quotes, but seeing the whole Jedi Council working together just to help people because it's the right thing to do gave me that positive energy and positive vibe of, yeah, the Jedi are gonna make mistakes. They're not perfect. They're trying their best. So I just love that book because it brought me back to why I love the Jedi so much. So that's my favorite book of 2024.
My favorite book, I think, is Temptation of the Force. Like, probably the
I mean,
only one I read.
you can't go wrong with that one.
No,
Um,
I read one of the YAs, I think.
I have it back here.
What was it?
I think Defy the Storm. No,
Defy the Storm.
yeah, Defy the Storm. It's a good one. Not my favorite, unfortunately, but it's a good one. All right. And like I said, there weren't a bunch of news last year. I just love every time that Daisy really got asked about her new movies. Yeah, I'm ready. It's coming. I'm gonna hear soon. You're gonna hear something. I'm getting the script soon. So I just love that every time she just kept repeating that part.
I'm getting the script soon. We never heard anything. Then we learned the screenwriter left. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. Because it was, oh yeah, you're gonna hear something soon. I'm getting my hands on it. Script writer left. Oh, okay. It's still on. We'll get it. We'll get to the movie.
Oh yeah, she said that there were imminent news and nothing ever came out. Interesting. I don't consider this news, but you probably saw it. Oscar Isaac is going to be in Celebration.
Okay, that's for looking forward to 2025. But let's talk about. Well, let's keep it.
Yeah,
we'll
let's keep. Yeah, we'll keep it for later.
Let's go ahead into next year. So let's look forward.
Wait, there's nothing else for 2024.
What else? What did I miss?
No, I was just like thinking about it quickly.
There might be things, but it's fine. All right, so looking forward into 2025. Let me put my graphic there. Look at that. Look at all that fun stuff that's coming. Celebration, Andor Season 2, the end of the High Republic, Path of Fear, the Reign of the Empire book trilogy. There's so much. Just Star Wars Celebration. It's what's going to kind of make or break Star Wars future. I think we can start there. I know it's difficult to kind of say what are we, excuse me, kind of looking forward to for Celebration, but just off the top of your head, there's any news or any announcement that you're looking for, that hoping it gets announced or confirmed?
Announced? Are we talking what I hope or what I think?
So let's start with, let me rephrase it. So something that we've mentioned for a while now, it's what's the future of Star Wars TV gonna look like live action. And we've said that Celebration is gonna be the place we're gonna learn, because apart from Andor Season 2 and Ahsoka Season 2, there's nothing else that's been announced. We've kind of expect that maybe it's gonna slow down a little bit in the live action world, the way that streaming seems to be going. I know there were news came out that Disney Plus lost 700,000 subscribers, but if you go into the actual report, it gained 900,000 from that Disney Hulu Plus bundle. So yeah, so they actually gained 200,000 new subscribers, if you want to see it that way. So there's a lot of contradiction out there. The Acolyte had 2.7 billion of minutes watched. Is that a lot? Is that little? So we don't know. So we don't know what's going on with Star Wars live action. So I want to know what's going on. Like, Celebration is going to be that make or break for the future Star Wars live action in terms of TV shows for Disney Plus. So that's one of the things I'm really excited to find out. Do you think we're going to get some news on, if nothing else gets announced, then we're in trouble? I don't know. Do you think there'll be any announcements in that sense?
I think we'll get announcements on the Ahsoka Season 2, like when it's gonna film, maybe, or when they expect to drop it. If there is gonna be a Mando season 4. I would also expect that to be announced. If they don't announce Mando season 4, I would think it's not happening.
Yeah, I think it's done with the movie.
But again, we'll see. So I think those would be like the two things. I don't expect them to announce like a bunch of shows.
Mhm.
Like I don't expect Kathleen Kennedy to be out here. They're the new three TV shows that we're making.
Can we get one? Do you think we'll have at least one new show? Like, not a continuation of either Ahsoka season 3, Mando. Oh, actually, we're doing Andor season 3. Do you think we'll get at least one new show announced?
Nope.
No? Focus on the movies this year.
Yep.
right.
Unless it's animated. I
Oh, yeah.
would.
I think we'll
that's
get
something else I would expect, like an animated show.
Yeah, I think we'll get information on Vision season 3. If they do another Tales of series, I think we'll get that. I'm really hoping, I'm pretty sure they'll do it. It's a new kind of longer format
Yeah,
animated show to take over Bad Batch spot. Because the animation has always worked for them. Why forget
it's
about
always
it?
been a staple. So
Yeah.
No, I would honestly like if I were gonna bet on something, I think it would be that like they announced the new animated show.
All right, it's gonna be interesting. Can that go? Can we go back to the High Republic and get something there? Will we finally get the Luke Skywalker new Jedi Order series that people want?
I think maybe. Like thinking about, I mean, they don't usually tie these to anything, but like thinking about the fact that they're doing the comics in between, maybe you could set this like a little bit later. Although I don't know, man. We'll see.
Yeah, they're starting to lean a lot into this 30-year time period between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So an animated series in that time frame.
If Rey is really coming back to a movie, I think it would be smart to like drive the attention back to the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think they're planting the seeds with all the comic books going that way. Yep. And supposedly all the Mandalorian and Ahsoka and all that connects somehow to the sequel trilogy with the return of not the return of the Empire, but what the Empire is doing. So yeah, just keep going. Give us something in that time period. So for myself, apart from are we getting any live action announcements? So for the future Disney Plus is give us updates on all the announced movies. Like I know a lot of people have said, oh, until I'm not seated in the movie theater or I watch a trailer, I'm not going to believe it. I've said here multiple times that all those 3 movies that were announced 3 years ago or 2 years ago are definitely coming back. There's already movies happening, Mango movies, the Filoni, all those are happening. We need something concrete, either, like you just said, Oscar Isaac is going to Celebration. Is this indication that maybe he gets announced? We need something concrete for those 3 movies that were announced. Or I'm going to start going to the other camp to say, maybe this is not happening, which I don't want to fall into that bandwagon over there.
Here's my prediction. I think we're going to get news on the 3 movies that were announced. Like concrete news. Like, I don't know if release dates, but maybe release years. Maybe James Mangold walks out like, no, I have my script, and he gives like a hint or 2 on the plot.
Sure.
I will bet on the Oscar Isaac thing. Like it. I'm pretty sure Daisy Ridley's gonna be there. Like, she might not be there. Maybe she zooms and just talks to everyone.
I'm reading the script. Finally, it's here.
Oh my god. Okay. This is not what I'm banking on, but just imagine this. She's not there. She zooms in. Then John Boyega comes from like behind, like he's like in the same room with her, and they're like webcam from London or something, and everyone's excited, and boom, Oscar Isaac
shows up. Oh,
that's
wow!
How, like, they announced the 3 of them coming back. Again, that's like a wild idea. I think they will announce the 3 of them coming back to Star Wars. Like, maybe Oscar Isaac is just there to take pictures and do like a one-off interview in the middle stage. find that very hard to believe that if Daisy Ridley is gonna be on stage at a
Mhm.
convention, he's not gonna be there with her. So
Man, I've said more that I believe John Boyega comes back, but this Oscar Isaac announcement a month and a half before celebration, kind of. And I again, there's people go like Manny Jacinto's gonna be there. That doesn't mean the Acolyte is
no, of
coming back.
course. Oh
But
no,
I don't
no.
know.
There is a very real
Yeah,
possibility he's there to take pictures and do that center stage
yeah.
interview, and that's it.
It's 10 years of Force Awakens. They can make a Force Awakens
Oh
panels, and
shit!
that's it. But dude,
Oh well,
it makes so much sense. Everyone would freaking just go nuts if he's there officially for the next movie. And hey, I'll take Daisy Ridley on a Zoom call and John Boyega walking out and making a joke. Hey, we're late. We gotta start shooting or something. Dude, come on, give us that. I'm
so
still I'm 55-45% that we're getting someone else announced of those big three.
I
Someone else gets announced.
I think so. Again, going back to what I think is gonna happen, we'll get news on all of them. I
Mhm.
think the Ray and Charmaine movie, maybe we get the least amount of information on because we know there's been bouncing around with the script.
Yeah,
But maybe the update is like, oh, Oscar Isaac is back.
yeah.
Or Oscar Isaac and John Boyega are back. But what I do think is gonna happen though, I think they're gonna announce the what's his
Sean
name?
Levi.
Sean Levi movie.
Yeah.
And I think that's next after Mando.
So then before, so yeah, new Jedi Order, a new writer got announced. He's working a bunch of stuff out there on
Yeah.
the Born trilogy, and I think Ocean's 11 or Ocean 12, one of those movies. He did an interview recently, and it seemed like he's not starting from scratch. Like he's working with everything that's been done
Yeah.
before and kind of tweaking here and there, which makes sense. So in that sense, I'm like, okay, it's better than just starting from zero. I know we talked a couple of months ago about 2027, the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. Makes sense for them to have a movie. Makes sense.
I'm not dropping the comments I made that day. Like I'll
Oh
stand
no,
by them.
I love them, and I was on the boat. This is the perfect opportunity to bring that Ray movie. But the way that Sean Levi crushed it with Deadpool and Wolverine, and seems that that's going to be fast tracked. Is that the 2027 movie then? Which supposedly Ray is going to be there
That's
in
why I
some
say
capacities.
that's why I'm saying I don't think we get an update on the other movie, but we get this one announced, and that's like a
Okay.
happy medium for every.
Is Ryan Gosling going to be part of that movie? Do you believe this
Yes, he
rumor?
is. Yes, he is, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be awesome, and he's gonna make out with Ray.
And then that's when Finn shows up. I've been on a Ryan Gosling kick this past couple of months. I
Mhm.
rewatched Blade Runner 2049, which when I watched it originally, I was like, it's okay. I loved it when I rewatched it.
Have you
I
seen
was
Drive?
I haven't seen Drive. No.
That's probably his best movie.
Yeah, I
He
gotta
does
check it out.
a performance very similar to K in Blade Runner, but
All right, I gotta check that one out. I finally saw the stuntman one that he's with.
oh, that was a super fun one.
It's a great movie. I mean, he can play whatever role. He's a great actor. He's comedy, action, in between, drama. So I'm on board. I don't care that he's extremely famous. Yeah, he's Ken from Barbie and all this stuff. And the Notebook. Dude, he's a great actor. I'll buy him in Star Wars. So he need to be a Jedi Master. I don't know. I don't care.
That's
Smuggler, a Sith. He works.
That's
Give me.
literally what I told Tony. Like
Yeah.
when we talked about it, I was saying like this guy played K. He played the driver in Drive. He played I don't know, remember his name in the Notebook, and he played Ken. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna crush it.
Yeah.
Like
No matter.
there
He's
is
one
like
of the,
no other
yeah.
alternative here.
It's one of those actors that when you're growing up, you're like, oh no, he's too handsome to do all this stuff. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
Oh, the Notebook, that's a chick flick. And then as you get older, and you put all that behind you, and you watch all the actual movies, like he works. It
Back
works.
in the early 2000s, it was cool to dunk on The Notebook. The Notebook is a great movie.
Yeah,
It really is a great movie, and they're both great in it. So
yeah. I'll say my wife showed it to my daughter late last year, and I watched it for the first time, like full honest. Yeah, I can watch it. It's fine.
it's a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So movie rumors. I can't remember. I wrote movie rumors in my. I think that was the Sean Levi
Probably a
and Ryan
Sean Levi,
Gosling.
yeah.
Yeah. And then animated projects. We talked about that. So in Star Wars Celebration, just to kick off the year, is kind of the perfect way to kind of kick off Star Wars in 2025.
It's
And then we go into.
it's
Sorry.
2 months away, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I said April 18th, and I took your advice and I asked for the day off. I got the day off on Friday because it'll be like 3 in the morning, whatever it is. So
Couch
I'm
con.
ready. I'm ready for it. I'll be texting you at 4 in the morning. What the hell is going
I'll
on?
be up. I'll be up.
And then we go to Andor. So this year in the TV side, we have Andor season 2. I believe Vision season 3 is out this year. Even I think that date hasn't been announced, so we know Vision season 3 is coming soon.
Probably May 4th.
And I don't know if we get that Tales of this year. I think so, but we'll wait for Celebration. But Andor season 2 is the big one. Andor season 1, even though I say hasn't been my favorite Star Wars TV series, I can honestly say it's the best Star Wars TV series out there. So I'm super excited for this. The little images and not trailer, but some of the clips that have been out there have been pretty intense. And after reading the Reign of Fire book, I want to go back to this political Reign of the Empire. Sorry, it's not my day. We've been gone for 2 weeks. I forgot.
Reign of Fire, is that like a dragon book series?
Reign of Fire, that's with Michael McConaughey and Kristen Bale, the dragon movie, which I love.
Oh, wow. That's a classic.
I had the poster in my bedroom. I love that
cool
movie.
Poster of the tower thing.
Yeah. Anyway, Reign of the Empire. But Andor season 2, I don't know. There's no information about this basically.
It's April, right?
Yeah, I think they're gonna show. It's right after Celebration that weekend.
So they'll get like the first.
Yeah, they'll get a couple.
I'm very excited for Andor. Like, we'll see. It's fitting, I'll say. Like, just like with Rogue One coming out that year. Like,
yeah,
it's we'll see. But no, I'm super excited for it. I know it's a heavy show, but it's also good. So.
Andor season 1 was such I don't want to say surprise, but I guess surprise how great that went from episode week to week to week. It just kept upping the ante, and the finale hit every single note.
When we learned that what's his name?
Tony Gilroy.
Tony Gilroy had like been involved from the beginning.
Yeah. I
knew we were gonna get like a different Star Wars show because I always knew like Rogue One is not his movie.
Yeah.
But I wasn't surprised on that end, but like I was surprised on how much I liked it because I was like the kind of person like, who asked for this? Like, who wants a show about a character in a mediocre movie? So even though
that's the poster sitting behind you,
because that's the coolest poster of all time.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah. But yeah, Andor, I was on the other side with the people that were extremely excited for this show for some reason for season 1, but I'm still surprised with how great it came out. Like everything worked for that show. Every character, all the side characters, everything worked. And unfortunately, when you go into the real world and you see that kind of it tracks. So yeah, season 2. It's going to be interesting, like you said, to see how it hits with the current political landscape. You can't escape Star Wars in politics, especially now. And you know that Tony Gilroy isn't going to pull any punches. And this going into Rogue One, the way it looks like Andor is going to be doing some spy missions. And I know people have been saying, is he the one that gets Mon Mothma out of Coruscant? And with Saw Gerrera doing his Saw Gerrera things out there. And whatever Luthen has going on. Like, I want a trailer now. I know Star Wars doesn't do trailers for the Super Bowl, apart from the teaser for Solo, because it came out in May.
I mean,
Super Bowl
don't be
is its
surprised if
song.
don't be surprised. I don't know if it's a Sunday. No, I think they would release like a first trailer before they would do that.
Yeah, I know it's. I mean, we're a couple of months away, like we said, 2 months away. This is usually when Star Wars starts announcing stuff. I mean, showing trailers. I don't know. I think maybe Good Morning America the next morning in ABC. They'll do a little teaser and then go to YouTube and watch a full trailer. But not in the Super Bowl. There's a lot of stuff
If they release it during the Super Bowl, though, send it to me because I will not know that it came.
there. You don't watch it? Come on, let's see. I hate the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan. Sorry for everyone out there. They're rivals. And the Chiefs, I don't mind the Chiefs. People hate them. I don't mind them.
The Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, they're going for the three-peat. It hasn't been done before. Will they be able
Oh,
to
they've
do
only
it?
done it 3 times. I thought they've been in the final like 5 times. I will not.
Are we talk? We're not gonna get into this now. I
I
can't
will not.
explain the whole
My
NFL
offer-
history to you.
for immediate release to the press, I will not be watching the Super Bowl.
All right. If there's anything Star Wars, I will
Let me
text
know.
you. This is my very not serious promise to you that I will remember to text you at 9:30 at night on Sunday if I say so.
9:30. That's
No,
still, no. Don't
it starts
text
around
me.
7, but it's a long
Oh.
show. It's 3 hours,
I-
and there's the halftime shows of 30 minutes.
The other thing I was gonna say, like something very cool about Andor. Diego Luna is not Puerto Rican, but Diego Luna is huge in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Like for a while. So like from him getting cast in Rogue One, that was like super exciting. Like I know so many people that watch that movie just because it's
Yeah.
a Diego Luna movie. But then like to see him in Andor and then like everyone being excited about it, I'm like, yeah, I've been a fan of him for like 15 years.
Yeah, y tu mamá también.
Phenomenal movie. Watch it.
Yeah. I know we talked already about this. People don't like, and I understand why, big names in Star Wars. It sells tickets. At the end of the day, this is a movie business. So if you put, I said it before, put Jude Law's name in the Mandalorian Grogu or in the Filoni movie, people will go because it's Jude Law. If it's Ryan Gosling, people will go, even if they don't enjoy Star Wars. Same thing, Diego Luna, big in the Hispanic and Latin market, people will go watch it.
Yeah, I was gonna look something up very quickly.
All right, well, you're looking that up. Vision Season 3, we got the announcement it's going back to anime this year. I was kind of thrown off a little bit, but it makes sense if, especially with Celebration being in Japan, it was announced. I think it was in a Singapore convention or something that Disney was doing on that side of the world, so it made sense that it got announced the way it did. I love Visions. It lets Star Wars just be free with whatever they want. So I'm extremely excited and hyped for Season 3, and hopefully it comes out, like you said, May 4th, or around that time after Andor finishes, we get Vision Season 3. Are you hyped for Visions? Who is it?
I'm never like hyped for it, but I always like super enjoy it. The first one I was fine with. The second season I really liked.
Okay.
So let's see what's up with Season 3.
I think my favorite I enjoy Season 1 more than Season 2, which is funny because I'm kind of bummed that they're going back to just anime shows, but anime is my favorite kind of type of animation for this type of shows. That's why some of the animation style in Season 2 didn't work for me, even if the stories did work, the animation style didn't. But that, I think, is the first episode from Season 2, which is the one from Spain. I love that one.
That's a great
El
one.
Cid, I think it's called, or something. I love that one. It's a great one. So books, Path of Fear, Reign of the Empire. I know you're reading Tears of the Nameless. If
No, but
this comes out, stop reading High Republic. Read this. You're gonna get angry. You're gonna get pissed off when you're reading this book because, unfortunately, of the state of the country right now. It just makes you want to scream. Like you're reading the Empire and Palpatine doing stuff that's actually happening right now where you're moving to. And you're like, how can people not see it? And it's like a one-to-one comparison. Again, this book was written 18 months ago, whenever. But it's one of my favorite books, I think, of all. It will make my top 5 Star Wars. I'm reading the audiobook or listening to the audiobook right now. I'm getting pissed off again. I'm like, oh, I'm so angry, but I loved it so much.
Can I tell you something that'll make you more upset?
I
Like you just
don't
said,
want
this
to.
book was written months ago. The reason why it's similar to what's happening is because what's happening it's what happens in every country that
Yeah,
gets a dictatorship at some point. So like,
which Alexander Freed, the author, at the end in the acknowledgement says all the uh, background kind of research that he did, thanks to all these historians that have done this work before. It's not like, oh, I'm just gonna do
yeah.
Trump. No, this is things that have happened in history that unfortunately are happening again right now.
Mhm.
So it's like you get angry, but at the same time, it's such a great book. Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, Saw Gerrera, Palpatine. I don't think he ever shows up, but he just
Oh,
looms. He looms large, and his name is mentioned. It's Masamida is the one from that side
oh,
that shows up. He's mostly at the end. It's a scene, and I'm not going to spoil it, but it's a scene between him and Mon Mothman at the end, and just gives you chills and like, oh fuck, like they're screwed basically. Like we know they're gonna win at the end, but right now, you're screwed. So yeah, for everyone out there, if you love Star Wars book, if you love Andor, if you love the Mon Mothma scenes in Andor, the Rogue One stuff, all the political stuff in Star Wars, and you enjoy actual political thrillers or just getting into what's happening in the country or just all over the world, this is the book for you. It's like I said before, it's gonna be in a lot of people's top 5 of the year. I'm gonna put it there right now, even though officially hasn't come out. It's gonna be difficult to top. There's one book that might, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But
yeah. I'm
you're
excited for
getting
that
this
one.
one, right? You're getting it.
Yeah.
All right. But it all goes to the end of the High Republic. Trials of the Jedi. We got that amazing freaking
So
cover.
cool.
Grant Justin, I believe, is the artist. And big synopsis, but basically, is 9 Jedi are going to find Planet X to figure out how to take that nameless
Kick some
backward.
ass.
Kick some ass, basically. I don't know. It's been 3 years. We don't know the 9 Jedi. This is Ocean's 11, basically, or Ocean's 9. But
9
also,
Jedi?
yeah, so we
Um
said, yeah,
El-
let's.
Elsar Avar.
Mhm.
Um let's see. Uh
Bell,
Bell, Buri,
Uriah,
Reef,
Rith will be there. You can Coma,
Vernestra.
Vernestra. I don't,
Well,
maybe.
I don't know. I'm not up to date, so that's where it gets tricky.
I'm saying Comac. Sorry, he's alive. He's alive right
No,
now.
I know he's alive. He showed up in the book.
Well, he might die in that, but I don't know if I count him as a
But you
Jedi.
just told me he would not die. You told me he's alive.
All right, so I got 6. Oh, you got 7 with Vernestra, I think. Amadeo, maybe.
Oh, Amadeo.
And I think that cover has someone that looks like, oh, what's her name? She's mostly in the comic books. I love her. She's in
Eve.
no. She almost killed
I can't
Elsar
see.
in The Rising Storm. What's her name?
Oh, Ty. We haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
who's
We'll
not
see.
making it out?
Who's not? I don't know.
No, let's just start the main ones between Elsar, Ava, Buriaga, and
I
Bell.
say Elsar and Avar both die.
Okay. I don't think Bell and Buriaga I think are safe.
Yeah. I think the
I
young
would
ones are
hate
safe.
to see Ava and Elsa. I said Elsa, Elsar, dude.
You
Today
need to
I'm
see, man.
I need to go. I'm not almost that if one of them dies, I want both of them to die because
Yeah,
I don't
Romeo
want
and
the other one
Juliet.
to suffer.
Yeah, and you can't leave.
Yeah.
Oh, be like super like the constellation, but too close to
Uh,
them the other. But like, what if one of them stays alive? So like, two of them are dead, and then one is. Oh.
no, dude, I can't. I can't. I hate that they made Qui-Gon the first Jedi to kind of be able to talk through the Force and communicate.
I think that's like relative. That's a rule that if they change, I won't mind.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, the Jedi High stuff, and maybe they didn't tell Yoda, but just do something with Stella and reaching out somehow. I don't know.
I think that could
something.
really happen, though.
Yeah, it can work. I trust Charles Soule. But it's the end of the High Republic, dude. It's some initiative that, that first book, Light of the Jedi, make it or break it. And it made it. It made what the High Republic is now. And it's coming to an end. I'm sad. I'm happy because it brings a conclusion to all of it.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll get more stories in that era, separate from this.
It's been, like 5 years where we've gotten books consistently, like every couple months. That, I've taken my time with them, but I still read them. So it's been super fun. So it's definitely sad to see it all end.
Yeah. Made something, and even if Star Wars take a step back in TV shows or whatever, books are there. And it's some of the best Star Wars stories. You'll get them through those. But yeah, end of the High Republic. And before that, we got Into the Light, Claudia Gray. You can never go wrong with those. No. And I
super excited. She hasn't written one in a while also. So.
Yeah, since The Fallen Star. Come on, it's like, oh my goodness. I mean, never count that out. And then Into the Dark is my favorite Star Wars book. I mean, we'll see. It's one of my, at least, High Republic book right now. And it's Claudia Gray. So I gotta get through that book first before I really focus on Trials of the Jedi. So and that comes out. I didn't write it down. I think it's March that book comes out.
It's before the last one. So
yeah, obviously we won't get into that. So yeah, I think that does it for 2025. Anything else that I might have missed that we need to think about? Do you think we'll get a? Sorry.
No, I was gonna say
a new game announcement.
Oh, in Celebration, probably. I think maybe we're not getting a new game this year, but I would bet on an announcement. Maybe Jedi 3.
Yeah, right.
But there's other studios that are making games, so maybe we get some clarity on that. Hopefully, Lucasfilm Games has a panel or something.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say we're getting it actually started a couple yesterday, I think. The Kylo Ren comic by Charles.
Yeah,
I'm excited for that one. And I didn't hear great things about the Jakku comic series.
Yeah.
But Alex Segura, who wrote that one, I love his book, the Poe one, Free Fall.
Yeah.
I really like that book. And he's writing the main Star Wars series that's gonna take place after Return of the Jedi. So that's also sort of exciting. I always check it out the first 5 issues and then drop off, but I'm excited to read it.
Yeah. Comics, I try. It's too much. Especially if I get into it and they goes on a 25 issue run, I was like, oh man, this is 3 years of my life right there. But they're great. And that Kylo Ren one that just came out yesterday, first issue, I've heard great things about that one. Again, Charles Soule.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So yeah, if you're into comics, another thing that Star Wars never stops is great comic books out there. So. All right, so that does it for our first episode of Season 10 of Radio Rebellion on our 5th year and our our episode on Star Wars Podcast Day 2027. Someday I'll say correctly, Podcast Day. There we go. I think that's it. Next week, I don't know, maybe. It depends if there's anything going on. There's news or something. And if we do, it'll be on a Friday because I still have stuff on Saturday. But
okay.
I'll let you and everyone else know. But this episode drops simultaneously on our YouTube channel and the audio podcast. So thank you everyone again for joining us for 5 years and hopefully going on 5 more if we're still doing this. But thank you, Oti. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time. So stay safe, be safe, and may the Force be with you. See ya.